Hi guys, Scott Woodward with you. Let's talk about the second qualifying final on Saturday, and it's the Broncos versus the Warriors. Broncos finished third, Warriors finished sixth, 3 versus 6 here, and it's been played in Brisbane's Suncorp Stadium, expected to be a sellout crowd, just like it was last weekend. Big crowd again in front for the Broncos, a big advantage. Significantly, like qualifying one, there's not a lot between these two teams. The last 10 times these two teams have met, it still is 5-5. And at Suncorp Stadium, last 6 times, Brisbane 4, Warriors 2. You might remember not long ago, around 22, there was just 1 point in it. It was a field goal with 2 minutes to go that the Broncos were able to get home. Warriors were a little bit unlucky in that game. Now, what stands out for me in that game is that the 2 best players in that game for the Broncos aren't playing in this game. Obviously, Sam Thaiday is out, the Broncos' best winger, second rower. In fact, arguably the best second rower in the world. And also their fullback, Josh Hoffman, is also out of this game. Let me just tell you what they did in that last game. Hoffman, from fullback, was responsible for 168 metres in that game, and Thaiday 118 metres. They were the 2 best players, and Sam Thaiday was responsible for some brilliant second phase play and set up the first try, which took the Broncos to an early lead in that game. So there's not a lot between these two teams. The Broncos have lost their fullback and their best forward for this clash, and the Warriors are actually stronger. They've got 2 players in this game that they didn't have. They've got Lance O'Hire on the bench, who is an outstanding bench player and very experienced for semi-final football, let me say. And also their left centre, Moon, wasn't in that game, and he's back for this game. There is a few little queries about the Warriors from an injury point of view. They're still nursing Sean Berrigan. We've got him down as playing at this stage, but in all honesty, if he doesn't play, it's not a massive problem. They've got the world-class Lewis Brown standing by. I couldn't think of a better guy to have on the bench. He can play basically any position on the field. I can't say that about too many players. And he is a brilliant player, so what a luxury that they have to have him there. And if he doesn't fill in at the centre, he can certainly go into the forwards, and he's brilliant there as well. So they've got a great bench, the Warriors. I think they have an advantage there over the Broncos. Lewis Brown, O'Hire, as we've already mentioned, Ben Machelino, who has actually played every game this year for the Warriors, and then they'll choose between Russell Packer or the giant Ukoma Tai, who is only about 20 years old, I think, and has a wonderful future. He's very big and very slow, but he's very, very strong and very hard to pull down, and it'll be interesting to see if the coach decides to go that way. I suggest that he probably will not, but it's nice to have him in the wings. Look, I think the Broncos now get Jared Beale at fullback, and while he's a brilliant runner of the ball, and he makes more metres than most rugby league players in the NRL, and he is an out-and-out fullback as far as I'm concerned. He normally plays on the wing for the Broncos because they're very well catered for in the fullback position. But now that he's playing fullback and he has a great running game, the negative for him so far is I haven't seen him yet provide any second phase play. He hasn't had any try assists or any line break assists, which is not a good stat for a fullback. Every time he's played fullback, he's always been an individual runner, and he's failed to set up his outside backs, which is something that I think they need him to do if he's going to be getting the Broncos home in these very tense semi-final games. So he's only young, inexperienced, and it may come back to haunt him, his lack of ability to set other players up outside him. But as an individualist, he's a brilliant player. Because he's playing fullback, Dale Coperly comes onto the wing. I don't have an opinion of him. Look, I know he's young. He comes from the under-20s Toyota Cup, and he will probably improve. But from what I've seen of him at the moment, he's not ready for semi-final football, and I think he's a big red flag for the Broncos, Dale Coperly. Justin Hodges is clearly a very big in. He's certainly in the top 2 or 3 centres in the world. Not quite sure how fit he's going to be for this game, but just having him there will be great for the club. Because he's there, and because Sam Thaiday is out, Ben Te'o has won the right back rower position. I certainly would have gone for Matt Gillett. He's one of the most incredible young talents in the competition, Matt Gillett. And it's a luxury to have him coming off the bench, but I think he's that good. He should be starting. And Ben Te'o is a long way from being Sam Thaiday as far as I'm concerned. He has a lot of faults in his game. He's a good runner. He's fast. And he's certainly a first-grade player. But they do lose a lot not having Sam there. There's no doubt about that. So there's a few challenges here for the Broncos. And given the fact there was only 1 point between these two teams last time they met, and the Broncos are significantly weaker in this game, and there's an argument to say that the Warriors are stronger, I don't think there should be a lot between these two teams in the betting, and yet the Broncos are clear favourites. A lot of that has to do with weight of money. The Broncos are clearly the most popular team in Queensland by a long way, and in fact they're arguably the most popular team in the NRL. So they will always command a lot of the punters' dollar. But when we look at what the two teams have done over the last 12 months and look at the 17 versus 17, there's very, very little between these two teams. I'm looking just forward to seeing how the Warriors' exciting young players, Kevin Locke, Sean Johnson and Feleti Mateo go. They could be the difference for the Warriors. You don't know what they're going to do. Kevin Locke is a lot like Jared Beale, except he has more to his game than what Jared Beale has got. He's great under the bomb, and he can set other players up. And he's actually turned out to be quite a good defender, much better than what I thought he would, given he's only a small guy. Sean Johnson is not a good defender, like his other partner, James Maloney. They're not good defenders, but they're both brilliant runners. In fact, the Warriors have got the fastest spine in the NRL, and they welcome back their hooker, Aaron Jeremiah, who set up a try for them last time these two teams met. So Kevin Locke, Sean Johnson, Maloney are brilliant players, and I would expect that they'll be counting strongly on them to get them home in this game. To have somebody like Lance O'Hare coming off the bench is a real luxury. But the Broncos are playing at home. All the advantages are in them. They're going to have the big crowd in their favour. You would have to think that they'll be getting the 50-50 calls from the bookmakers. I don't see... it's not a game that I can do a lot in. I'll be just watching. Going to be a great game. I'm slightly favouring the Warriors at the odds, only because they're odds against, and I don't think there should be anything in the betting. But a great game. Looking forward to it.